Hi everyone, it is Cassandra Washington, Casey Washington from Teach and Take Time for You and from Educate and Excel, an online community for educators. And May, we are in the month of May. The school year is almost over for most. And May is actually Mental Health Awareness Month. So let's talk a little bit about the mental health of our educators and our teachers. And, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a school administrator or a district administrator, the stress of the job is probably way up here. It's a 10. It's a 10. You're responsible for so much. But sometimes as educators, our mental health is not taken very seriously. So now what we have is a big exodus of our professionals leaving education, leaving the field. But I just want to talk a little bit about, our mental health issues as educators. We have some health challenges due to stress levels, which eventually lead to burnout. And these challenges, these issues, not only affect the well-being of our teachers and our administrators, but it also affects the quality of education and student achievement. So we have to think about all of those things. And there have been so many studies about teacher stress and teacher burnout and the perception of how teachers feel about being in the profession now. And excuse me, one of the issues, the stress of teaching, is so demanding. The expectations are really high and the responsibilities are many. If you've been in that classroom, you have lesson plans, you have the testing concerns, test scores, classroom management issues. Children now are coming with more sometimes mental and emotional issues that we just have not been prepared for. It's not something we trained for as educators. And then, our job performance is always and it always based on these test scores, and that's been going on for years. Yes, we all know about that. That's just a whole nother video. And anyway, mental health impacts. The teachers have a higher rate of mental health challenges that include anxiety, that include depression, and that include burnout. And these challenges, these three things can lead to a decline in the job satisfaction. It can lead to poor work performance, and then it also leads to the likelihood that educators will leave the profession, whether it's teachers in the classroom or it's school administrators that are in the building, the principals, the assistant principals. And let's talk about, counselors and social workers and teacher aides, and all of those people are considered educators to me, And then research shows us that long-term stress can increase the mental health problems, okay? And then let's talk about workload. What are these contributing factors to the mental health challenges among educators, among teachers and school administrators? The workload is heavy. People want to say, oh, well, you get the summers off. Well, let's not even talk about the summers off. During the time that school is going on, the workload is heavy. You're creating lesson plans, you're grading papers, you're meeting with parents and administrators, you're meeting with parents, you're meeting with teachers, you're doing evaluations, you're handling discipline, and let's talk about the politics. How about that? Okay. The other thing is that many educators say there's a lack of resources and there's a lack of support. And when they say that, they're talking about not necessarily the adequate access to mental health resources or support systems within the school or within their school district. Yes, and I can understand there not being the support sometimes because this is something new. It's not new, but it's new in the fact that people have not been um, prepared financially in their schools to deal with some of these things, and the districts don't quite know how to deal with these mental health issues and provide the resources. Budgets are tight, so where are we going to find that money to address educator mental health? So sometimes we got to take care of ourselves. We can't wait on districts. We can't wait on politicians. Educators, we have to take care of ourselves, right? We have to be our own advocates in these situations. And then more than anything, I hear a lot and I read a lot in these studies is that lack of work-life balance. You're taking papers home to grade, you're doing those lesson plans at home. You can't leave work at work as an educator. Even as a principal, you're bringing home projects and reports and things like that, and you just never leave it at home. Email is 24 hours, whether you're a teacher or you're an administrator. Calling parents, you might be calling them from home. So the work-life balance, the lines are blurred. The lines are really blurred. And it's important that we start really addressing teacher mental health or educator mental health because it directly affects what's going on in that classroom and educators' ability to provide support and engaging learning environments for students, And then supporting teachers is not only essential for their mental health, but also for the whole entire educational system. These people keep leaving and they're stressed out. That's not good for any school system. So we have to do something. But again, I say teachers and educators, we have to advocate for ourselves. We do. And then if we start prioritizing teacher wellness, teacher mental health, educator wellness, then I do believe that job satisfaction will increase. I think there would be less issues with like absenteeism, less issues with teacher retention, less people leaving the field if we just start prioritizing our mental health, and not just the mental health, physical health, because once your mental health starts to decline, stress causes physical health issues too. That's a whole nother video. So what are some strategies that can be used, whether you're a district leader or we're advocating for ourselves as educators? What are some strategies that we can either implement or suggest to our districts, perhaps? We have to promote work-life balance. You have to. We got to encourage teachers to take breaks, educators to take breaks. Use your sick days. We got to prioritize self-care, using our insurance, health insurance if we need counseling. Don't forget about those kind of things. Your PTO days. Sometimes you just have to take a break. Providing mental health resources is another thing. Districts start researching and bringing in professionals so we can start dealing with the mental health issues of teachers and providing perhaps the counseling, group sessions, strategies for self-care, those type of things. Providing a supportive school climate is important. Fostering some collaboration, respect, and more than anything, some empathy and grace. Educators need empathy and grace too. Every day is not a good day. So when you recognize that in your staff members or in your co-workers, give them some grace and give them some support too. And then teachers want to be valued. School administrators want to be valued. Show them their value and their worth. And then as systems, recognizing that we have to put in some practices to reduce the issues of mental health in our schools among our educators. So thinking about Mental Health Awareness Month, the month of May, school's almost over. So let's start planning for school year 2025-2026. Start small, but let's start. And teachers, principals, district leaders, let's advocate for educator wellness, educator mental health. So please hit that subscribe button for Teach and Take Time for You. And then I'm also going to put a link in our description for our online educator community for what we call Educate and Excel. So we can talk about teacher and educator wellness. And on that note, thank you for listening, and you have a great day, and let's take care of our mental health.